Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Monday night show. How is everybody? How are we doing? Do you have a good weekend? Easter's around the corner, people. It's going to be a lovely weekend for some, and others are going to be running the Boston Marathon. Woohoo! Imagine that. Imagine that. What would you do? Maybe that's a good question to ask in a bit when everybody's tuned in and joined us. What would you do with the Boston Marathon place? But we'll come on to that. So yes, good evening, everybody. This is our Monday night live stream, our Monday night show. I don't know whether this is coming across YouTube or not. I've got no idea. We've had some technical issues the last few weeks, but we shall see whether that works or it doesn't. Right, so firstly, let me just jump into and make sure I've got this working. So we've had all sorts of problems in terms of the tech this week. And basically, I haven't had time to fix any of it. But hopefully, if you are listening to this as a podcast, then it all sounds okay. Because we had to use on Friday's show, we had to use some wizardry to make that sound pretty awesome. But yes, get your questions, comments in, whether it's like running shoes, coaching questions, whatever you want to talk about tonight. Thanks, Ian. I appreciate it. As I said to you, we're having a bit of a mare. But yeah, get your questions, get your comments in, whatever. We'll just have a chat over the next 5 minutes or so as we wait for everybody to join as usual, and then we'll go through and answer all the questions. Thank you, Gary, and thank you, other Gary. So yes, this week, tomorrow, I'm going to put out a Vaporfly 4 video. I think some of you will like that, and I want to put a caveat to say that it's an initial impression, I would say, because I feel like I need to race in the shoe. But I think it's worth putting a video out about it because mainly because you guys asked me for it. But I've got some thoughts on the shoot already, and I want to put that out. And then, as I said, I'm going to go and race it once we've got London out of the way. If London Marathon, I've got that in a couple of weeks, or is it less than that now? But yeah, I'm going to go out and race in that as well. So that's where we're at with the Vaporfly 4. I also have the, I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, I also have the Streakfly 2 as well, but that will wait because we need to do some proper stuff in that before we make a decision. So the Streakfly 2 video will take a little while. So just as a heads up for that. So again, thanks to everybody who is coming in and joining us. Get your questions, get your comments in, and I'll work my way through that. Other video we've got this week is, I think it's the Nike one, the other Nike one. I did. I will have a ASICS Yuguri S4 Plus video filmed by the end of the week. But that probably won't come out till next week because I just I want to get some more miles in them before I make a decision on it in terms of where we're at with the shoe. Wait a second. Just looking to see what video is coming on Thursday because I think it's a good one. Another Nike video, so a bit Nike focused this week, and then on Friday, if you're running the London Marathon, I'd really recommend you tuning to Friday's podcast and video podcast as well. If you're running London Marathon, check that out. We've done one of our now very popular Marathon Talk podcast. Me and Hayden sat down and discussed the London Marathon. So I'd strongly recommend that one if you're doing that. So I'm just going to say good evening to everybody. So yeah, in terms of other shoes, we've got some stuff. Obviously, I can't talk about. The Boston 13 is out on the 18th. They're doing a drop. You'll see. Hang on. Oh, bless me. You'll see some all the videos I think released on the 18th. In terms of that, I've asked Hayden actually because Adidas are going to get them first. My retail partners won't have that shoe over here. I'm not sure unless I get an email like early this week, like tomorrow or something. I don't think I'm going to get that shoe quicker than Hayden can get it for me out in Boston if he can get his hands on them. So yeah, if there is apparently there's a limited drop happening, but I don't know whether that's total nonsense or not. But I know, as again, it goes on main sale in June. But I'm led to believe that there's going to be some shoes around, and all the embargo, I think, ends on the 18th. You'll see all the videos come out. Cheers, everybody, by the way. What else? I can't really tell you about them. So yeah, S4 Ugiri, need some more miles in them. Vaporfly 4 tomorrow. Yeah, so that's the sort of stuff we can talk about from there. Okay, right. So let's just crack on, shall we, tonight? Again, get your questions and get your comments in. Coaching, shoe related, whatever, and I'll work my way through them on tonight's show. We are here next Monday. It's Easter Monday. I am planning to do a show because I think some of you guys may be sitting about doing nothing. But let me know in the comments whether you want me on next Monday, and yeah, I'd be interested to know. I was going to ask you a question tonight, but I can't remember what it is. I had a really important question I was going to ask you, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. It wasn't about next Monday. No, if it comes to me, I will ask you because I wanted to get your feedback on something, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Okay. Right. So again, and there's a good point, actually, good reminder to everybody. If you're not rejoined as a 40 Runs Running Club member, the sportshoes.com offer is insane. 15% off on their shoes if you sign up as a 40 Runs Running Club member affiliated. It's worth going over. Get the £21 or whatever it is. You'll get that back pretty much straight away because obviously you save that on the first pair of shoes and you can just crack on and like geek out on running shoes. So that's worth doing as well. But that wasn't what I was going to ask you. I can't remember what it is. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. Oh, Angus is here. That's pretty awesome. On holiday for on the run up to Boston. Yeah, good luck to everybody who's running Boston this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Okay, Angus is doing Comrades next year. You recommended Super Blast 2 for a marathon. Do you think it would be suitable for a race? Yeah, if you said to me, 40, you've got to run an ultra this year. What shoe are you going to do? I'm going to take the Super Blast all day long. That's just me, personal preference. So I would definitely take the Super Blast 2 out. That's what I would do. But that's just me. So, but yeah, I can't. It's non-plated. It's got enough giddy up, but it's super comfortable. It's just got everything on it. It's not overly heavy. That's what I'd be looking for on that sort of thing. Yeah, Gary, you and me both. Gary say would love to be fast enough to run Boston. Oh yeah, that's the question I was going to ask you, and it's not important. I've just realised it's not an important question. Are you ready? So everybody who's watching this live, I want you all to comment about this. Okay? Are you ready? This is a serious question, and this is not anything to do with me. I was thinking about this today because I was thinking about Boston, and I was thinking to myself, I'm going to have to make some sacrifices big time to be able to train for it, get fast enough for it. But here's the thing. So we're working, obviously, I'm always working on a few things behind the scenes and new opportunities always coming up to me and stuff like that. So, and it's just, again, I'm going to make sure that I water this down. I'm not putting this out there to rock anybody's boat. Okay. I'm genuine. This is a question I was thinking to myself today. If all of you who are watching this live, and I want you all to answer, every single one of you to answer this question. If you was offered a bib to run the Boston Marathon, you hadn't qualified, again, and I'm being totally transparent. I've not been offered a bib, okay? I have not been offered a bib. Being totally transparent. But if you was offered a bib to run the Boston Marathon, yeah, but you hadn't qualified, would you take it? Serious question. Because I was thinking about this today, because I was thinking, like, I was just giving myself a bit of a pep talk because my training block's not been that great. And I'll come on to it in a video. And we've got a lot of work to do for Chicago, basically. I was thinking to myself, am I ever going to be able to qualify for Boston? And I was thinking, well, probably not the easiest route, but the one obviously route for me is because what I do, an opportunity may come around the corner. You never know, right? Especially with stuff that we've got going on at the moment. I never know what's around the corner. But would I take that bib? I'm sitting here today, being the way I am, I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I would take the bib because I believe that if I actually knuckled down, if I actually knuckled down and did what I'm meant to do, which I know I can do, then I believe that I can run a time to qualify. I honestly, hand on heart, believe I could do that. But I get in my own way. And yeah, but I'm not sure I would take it at the moment. I think probably in the heat of the moment, I probably would. But I don't know whether how well that would sit with me because I'm quite black and white. I think I'd want to have earned the right. And again, please, I am not digging anyone out. This is a serious thing that I was thinking about today. More about my Chicago training and all that sort of stuff. Whether I'd ever what I've got to do to get fast. Even to the point of right, do I go and get a PT and all this sort of stuff. I was thinking about all this today, right? Mainly because I'm putting some videos together for future videos. And it made me think, would I? I don't know. It's a funny one, isn't it? It's a real hard one. Depends who you are. I think that most people, and we'll come on to your answers, but I think most people would take it. And again, I ain't got no problem. There's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just not sure whether I would. I probably would in the heat of the moment because of the opportunities that would give me, but I don't know whether I'd sit right. If I was massively, massively, massively away from the time. So for me, a Boston qualifiers, I think about 3:15, 3:15. Hayden would know better than me. I think it's 3:15. And while that's a lot of time to take out of a marathon, I know that if I actually trained properly, put the work in, did the gym like well, and done like ate well and all that sort of stuff, I think I could do it. So that's not in question. It's just whether I have the mental aptitude to do it because I say get my way. But it's an interesting topic, isn't it? And that's why I wanted to ask you. Yeah, and obviously the other question was, do you need a live stream on Easter Monday? Who's going to be around? Or do we do like a select private audience? No, we won't. We'd never do that. But yeah, let me know. Interesting one, isn't it? It's amazing what you think of on the train. A bit more tea, then we'll dive in. I've seen all your answers, by the way. And again, all of you who's watching, I appreciate all of you for watching, heroes. By the way, have you invited anyone to watch this week? Okay, right. Garmin Phoenix 6X6 versus the Sapphire versus the Chorus Pace 3. Which one is best? If you're an influencer, Chorus Pace 3 because you get them for free. If you're a journalist, the Garmin because you get them for free. What? I think the best Garmin watch is the Garmin 965 that I'm wearing. It's bloody brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's brilliant. I really do. Howdy from Prescott. Yeah, honestly, my Garmin, I need a new strap for it because it's ruined. But it's brilliant. I love it. I don't think you can beat it. And I had a Phoenix as well. So I got rid of it. Dave, I'm doing the Belfast Marathon on Sunday. Wow. Oh, no, stand down. He's doing it on the 4th of May. But he missed his final long run at the weekend due to a slight niggle. Worried about impact of missing last final long run? I really wouldn't worry about it, Dave. Miss long runs, happens. You've done the training. It's what you've done over the last 14 weeks that matter, not one long run. Any tips? Yeah, don't worry about it. Carry on as you were. Honestly, just don't worry about it. Makes no difference. Psychologically, I get it. I 100% get it. But in terms of the race result, it won't make any difference. If you've done all the previous work, to point. Hi, Fordy. Been seeing a lot more runners sneaking into races without an official place. Wow, okay. Brighton and London last year had a lot. What's your thoughts on those sneaking? I don't think you should do it. I think people, especially for certain things like London and whatnot, charity bibs and all that kind of thing. I don't know how they get in terms of if they don't have an official place. What, they run it along without a bib? Sounds a bit dodgy to me. Yeah, I think pay your money, do the race. Yeah. Don't understand how they're getting in without any bibs on, but maybe again I'm pretty ignorant and things like that. God bless you, Billy the Kid. Yeah, El Chivato. A6. This is I can't pronounce that. Apologies for my ignorance. A6 Nova Blast 4 LE versus A6 Nova Blast 5. Which one is faster for race day? I personally prefer the Nova Blast 5. I think it's a much better shoe. I don't necessarily think it's a quicker shoe. I think it's a much more comfortable shoe and a better all-rounder. I think they improved it massively. The only thing that lets the Nova Blast 5 down is its outsole. The outsole on that shoe is terrible. But I would go with the 5 for comfort. Richard, evening Fordy, just starting to taper for MK Marathon. Oh, before I get Richards, again, big shout out. Everybody who wants to ask a question, get involved in the chat. Stick it in the chat, please, okay? And I'll answer them. Richard's tapering. Should I also be lowering the number of strength and conditioning sessions too, or is it okay to continue? No, I would keep that up. I would obviously just bear in mind you don't want to be, setting new PRs in the gym. You don't want to be pushing too aggressively, but you do want to maintain. Yeah, you do want to maintain. Think about it for race week. You might want to not necessarily go completely nuts and ease off a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of cross training on that side of things. But yeah, just don't be looking to push up PRs and stuff like that. Maintain. You're in a maintaining phase now instead of building. Lisa, do you think there's much difference between trainers sold for men versus women? Yeah, there is. They try and they have tried. I don't think it's actually caught on very well, but they have tried to change some of the geometries of the shoes and develop the shoes. ASICS in particular have done a better job of it. I think more science needs to go into it in terms of developing the shoes, but they've come a long way versus what they were, men versus women's shoes. Although I do know a few women, a couple of my coach, who go for men's shoes, just prefer them. But obviously you ladies are built differently and work differently to us men. So, some of the brands are developing shoes designed with that in mind, which is good. I think it's the right thing to do. Mike, even Fordy, do you like running in the Alpha Flies? It's crazy how many people wear them at races. It is crazy how many people wear them at races. The Nike Market Machine is brilliant. To answer your question, the Alpha Fly doesn't work for me. The high arch in that shoe rips my arch to bits. I don't run fast enough in the shoe to get off of that arch. I sort of collapse with it, and that's where it rubs like hell. It's a real shame because I think it's a good shoe. I don't necessarily think it fits everybody. You see a lot of people wearing it where they shouldn't be wearing it in terms of the pronation. And as a coach, I'm basically having a breakdown most races when I see people in the shoe that shouldn't be in it. But I haven't got the heart to tell them because they're just going out there and trying to finish. So, I wouldn't necessarily wear an Alpha Fly if just because you saw some geezer on TikTok wearing them. Last bit of tea. Cheers, people. For all you eagle-eye viewers, I did just spill it down me. Now soaked. What a legend. It's amazing. I don't know how I missed this big mouth of mine. Ian, congrats again yesterday. Ian's one of my runners who I coached. He smashed a PB yesterday. If you're interested in coaching, get over to FORDYRUNS.com and check out the coaching. We've got a couple of slots coming up if you want some coaching. We can help you out, get faster, run PBs, that sort of stuff like Ian did at the weekend. Great weekend in Paris. Well, recommend it. Fantastic organisation on off the course. Great to see some 40s ready for the next one. Yeah, he's got a big year. Big year. Gary's telling me to take Monday off. Again, let me know in the comments. Should I do a live stream on Monday? Yes or no? It's up to you. Maybe I'll do a poll. We haven't done a poll in a while, have we? Oh, that's pretty awesome. David, even Chris, long-time podcast listener and first time watching for live. That's awesome. That's really cool. I like that. Adam was not in your 40 runs top of the weekend. I saw that, Adam. It was advertising Carmen. Good boy. Just got home from Paris. PB by 12 minutes despite having a blister. issue, missing a week of training and being full of cold. Well done, mate. I think, yeah, again, I go back to what I was saying about on, he's asking if there's any flat marathons in the autumn. They're all sold out, all the flat ones. But I go back to my point, even though some idiot had a go at me on in the comments on at the weekend on one of our videos about Manchester, where I was saying about how good that would be if that was in the autumn. Just think it would be pretty cool to have the Manchester Marathon in autumn. I thought that would be a great thing, but some geezer went at it. I started having a go at me about running 10 marathons a year and just being a prick, basically. But yeah, I think there's not many around in autumn. That I think most of them are sold out of them, to be honest with you, buddy. Yeah, no, I can't think of any. But either way, well done on the PB. Congrats, brother. Yeah, I saw you running the Super Blast. So Mark's talking. He got his Adidas Pro 4s with the. So again, Mark's talking about if you're a 40 Runs Running Club affiliated member, you can join for like 20 or quid at the moment, and you get 15% off of sportshoes.com once you get your membership number and stuff. He got 33 quid off the Adidas Pro 4. So they pay for itself basically in terms. So then the next year he gets 15% off without having to think. So that's pretty cool. What is one of the most influential running stories you remember? One of the most influential. I'd probably say the Welsh runner when he came round in the London Marathon and was holding up that fellow club runner. He sacrificed his time. I was there. I was running it that year, and yeah, that was quite profound on me in terms of the running community doing stuff for other people, that sort of thing. So yeah, big shout out to him. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. He doesn't need any help. He's smashing it. But yeah, big shout out to the Welsh runner. Nice guy. Really nice guy. Jason, evening, Chris. I intended on running Manchester Marathon in the Adidas Pro 3s. No issues with them in the past, but they gave me a blister on a 13-mile on Saturday. Would you suggest rethinking options? You're getting a bit close. I would relace them, change it, and go out on one of your runs and see how you get on. What's the other shoe that you've been doing your long runs in? If not, revert back to them. Yeah. Stephen, hi 40. First marathon later this year, and I can't decide between the Endorphin Pro 4 and the SC Elite 4. Need a little bit of stability, but not full stability training. Be about 4 hours. I've run both of those shoes in marathons around the 4-hour mark. They're both very good. I would say the Endorphin Pro 4 is probably a little bit more lively, but the SC Elite 4 is probably the more complete marathon shoe. It just feels a little bit more stable, a little bit more of a cruiser, where I think the Pro 4, you can step on it a little bit. Both will get you around. Both will do an excellent job. So I've run both of them in around 4-hour marathons, and they've both been excellent, to be honest. They really have been excellent shoes. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, moving on. David, I am running Manchester Marathon at the end of the month. Got a slight calf issue. So decided to keep it rested. How much impact will not running during taper have? It depends how much. You won't lose a hell of a lot. You don't tend to lose massive amounts. It's more your mind playing tricks. So don't worry about it. It's it's the sort of 14 weeks worth of work that you've done that will ultimately make the difference. Yeah, how much work you've done in the gym, how much recovery, mobility work you've been doing through those weeks. How much speed work and all those things, all the different ingredients that go into a training block. That's what will ultimately give you the result at the race. Yeah. So don't stress about it too much. Evening, Mr. Start, watching the Ginger Fisherman. I really like John Snagged, bro. I like Fish with Coal. They're the ones but they're the two I'm obsessed with. Did you mention the Skechers shoes? Are you able to talk about? No. One pair's here, and one pair's down there. I've got the 3 pairs. The other ones are downstairs because I've been wearing them. But I've got a pair here which I'm under strict embargo. Can you? I just leave that like I can see it, John. John, look. If you're watching on the podcast, yeah, sorry. You've basically got this is not even anything showing of this Skechers shoe that's under embargo. I'll push that back. But I got all the information through, actually, funny enough, about them. I've had them quite a while now. Do you remember the conversation we had when I said, they're delayed, and the next day they all turned up? So I've had them a good few weeks now. I think it might have been longer. But I've got all these specs and stuff come through them today. So I guess because they're not out until May, embargo's May. So I guess after the London Marathon that week, I might start putting some thoughts down. But yeah, that'll all come out in May. New Balance Elite version 4 bagged for London. Saved 80% off a retail. Well done, Nick. Good job. Yep. We like them. Okay. Keep going. Oh, this is you lot. This is you lot now. This is how delayed I am. This is you lot saying, basically, I think the long story short of it is that you would all take the Boston bib. I think, yeah. Okay. Interesting. So if you come in late, I asked about because I'm not sure what I'd do if I was offered. We've got a lot going on, so I don't know what's around the corner. But I was thinking, if I was sitting here today, would I take one? I probably wouldn't, because I don't know if I could. It wouldn't sit well with me. But then again, it's always hard, isn't it, when you're offered those sort of opportunities? It's a funny one, isn't it? So yeah, you lot would. So maybe I would. I don't know. I just like to get there on merit. Maybe I'm totally deluded. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm so deluded with my own ability. But the reason I thought it is because, I need to do better in terms of my training. And I just feel like if I did get better at it and I did do some of the stuff, then I would be close or close-ish. And that would be more fulfilling than anything else. Who knows? I'll probably get an email tomorrow. Fordy, you want to come to Boston? Yeah, I'll be there. Hey, Fordy, what 3 type of runs would you recommend a beginner do every week? If you're Catch the 5K, do whatever it says on the Catch the 5K app. Ideally, you're looking for about 2 to 3 runs a week. And I want you to be going as slow as you can. And I want you to be doing a lot of it at run walk. Yeah, or majority of it at run walk. I want you to go slowly. I want you to give yourself 6 to 8 weeks. And give yourself time. Don't go out there and get shin splints or runner's knees and all this sort of stuff. Get yourself in the gym. Get a PT. They're the things that make a difference. All right. You're all going on about, yeah, you would take it. See, Ian's coming. It's Boston. It's a difficult one. Boston, more than most, is so performance-based that I'd feel I was taking away from the achievement of making the qualifying time. Yeah, that's basically what I was kind of getting at, Ian. It's like if I actually did what I know I can do, then I think I've got half a chance. Does that make any sense? If I was like miles away, then 100% I'd take one all day long. All day long. Of course you would. Who wouldn't? You'd be nuts. But because I wouldn't say like close, but I'm not a million miles away in terms of, if I did a good couple of training blocks, I could sneak in, is what I'm feeling. But I have to work my ass off. But that's on me, right? That's on me. So I don't know. Who knows? I'll let you know if I get offered a bib. Imagine if I did. Not this year, obviously. Yeah, that's a good shout, Angus. But would fundraise for charity? Yeah, no, it's a good shout. Martins, no, you have to earn the right to run it. This is what I'm thinking. And again, I'm not a million miles away. Okay, what's this? Hi, Chris. I ran my first marathon yesterday in Boston, UK, Boston. 3:49, that's good. Ran in a Super Blast 2 like Adam. And what a fantastic shoe. They're so consistent they are. They're fantastic. Okay, just again, it's unbelievable. Yeah, that's true. That's a good way of looking at it, Gary. Gary's looking at it in quite a cool way. Is that you take you take the bib, but then you do the hard work to prove that you're where you could be. Now, again, that's all relative, right? So I don't know. It's hard because we're talking about me in it. So let's say I'm not near qualifying, right? So I don't know. Let's say I run in an ideal world 3:30 in Chicago. I'm still 15 minutes out of where I need to be. But then do I work my socks off? I get offered a place and then I take it. I go, yeah, you know what? The guys on the live stream said, yeah, they would. So I'll take it. And then I take it. But then I would actually go into beast mode because I'd want to do myself proud. So I'd want to go there and give it a good showing. So yeah, maybe that's a different way of looking at it. So there's no right or wrong answer here, really. Mike's happy to take the bib for me. Anyone else want to take my Boston bib and go out there and be me? Remember, you're gonna have to go out there and upset a lot of people. Is that something you could do? Oh dear. You know what? I'm so out of. I got invited to another shakeout run today for London. I was just like, oh, not another shakeout run. I'm so over shakeout runs, so over all this nonsense. I was just like, I don't know if I go Boston, whether I behave myself. It's probably not Mike. You'd have to. Matt, we're still on the Boston topic, by the way, if you take a bib. But yeah, because you never know what might happen. Never get the chance to get. That's the thing, Again, that's the thing, Matt. It's a good chat. I don't know the right or wrong answer here. I don't know. Oh dear. Maybe if it ever happens, we'll get the email up and we'll ask you lot. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know, Angus. He's saying that I wouldn't be able to run it until 2027, even if I qualified in 2026. Who knows? Who knows? Funny, don't it? Velocity Nitro 4. Yeah, somebody told me the date, Matt, but I've forgotten it. Can't think. It was Puma who told me all the dates of all their shoes. I can't remember when it is. My bad. I'll find out. Okay, what's this one? Hello, Chris. Hope you're well. I'm running the Hackney Half. I'll be there. I think with the Hackney Half life of a London cabbie, I went there one year. I had to spectate because I was injured. I started off at the start in the village because the village is really cool. At Hackney, it's a really good vibe. And then I went out to I can't remember the name. We did a video about it when I was there. I think it was last year's race vlog. Hayden filmed it, but I think I did some of the filming. I walked basically like a couple of kilometers out. Then I did like a sort of route back. They did give out last year a like spectators route that you can do, which is quite cool. So check that out. But I definitely start in the village. It's a really good vibe in there. Yeah, and that's another point. The cost of the hotel and all the flights and stuff. Alpha Thrive 3, is it good for a daily run? No, I wouldn't wear it for a daily running shoe. Jade, best 10K race shoe that is stable. I was tempted by the Puma Deviate Nitro 3 or whatever it's called. Yeah, good shoe that. That would work. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, Vaporfly 4 is good, but if you're a hill striker or pronate slightly, I don't think it'll work for you necessarily. But the Puma's a good shout. Really good shout. Ben is running the London Marathon in a couple of weeks. Have you seen my video, Ben, about the route on my Instagram, 40_runs? I'll run you through the route. And make sure, Ben, that you check out the podcast this Friday and the video podcast. We go do a London Marathon special. Any advice for running with an injury? I would seek medical advice. I always say the same thing. Speak to the physio, speak to the osteo. Whoever's told you about the diagnosis, speak to them. They're medically trained to give you that advice. I'm not. I'm a running coach, athletics coach as well. But I would always revert back to the medical advice. And as a coach, I would work with the physio or, whoever in terms of their advice, my advice. We'd work together and build a plan around that. Sorry, it doesn't help. Mark's saying I should take Monday off. I think we're going to do a poll. Jonathan ran first marathon yesterday at Newport. Yeah, I had one of my clients running that. Big shout out, Stephen. Thanks for all the free advice. At 33K, might I start to feel terrible pain in my hips. Does it go away with more training? Yeah, Jonathan, give me a shout. Get you signed up for some coaching. We'll help you out with that. But yeah, you need to strengthen basically, mate. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate that. Chester, I don't think is flat, Stephen. But it depends where you live, I suppose. It's all relative. Yeah, Mark saying Chester's not flat. Yeah, I'm a bit tired after. A big shout out to McElroy, one of my sporting heroes. Really pleased about that. Really pleased. I think there's a lot of tired people today from watching McElroy last night. Yeah, Ben, if you don't follow the channel, Ben, so one of the runners, another runner I coach, just had a couple of PBs this weekend from my runners. So big shout out to all my runners. But Ben this weekend went and ran 2:55 in Paris. Not an easy course, as Ian was telling earlier, who also PB'd at Paris. So again, testament to him. But yeah, they're two runners I coached, and obviously Jane as well. She ran a half PB as well. John as well. So there was so many. So all good. But the that's not this weekend, the weekend before. So Berlin. But the Ben ran 2:55 and he ran 1:25 the week before in the half, even though he's not meant to. And he ran under 19-minute 5K the week before that, which he wasn't meant to as well. So he doesn't listen to his coach, i.e. me, but he still manages to push out incredible results. So big shout out to him, a big shout out to all my runners. Again, if you're interested in coaching, you want to get faster, you want to run PBs, you want to get stronger, whatever it is, go to FORDYRUNS.com. We are going to be opening up the books. We've got a couple of spaces on the team. So get in touch today. hello@FORDYRUNS.com. Seriously, if you want to get involved, because those spaces will go. Right. First time, my first marathon. All right. Hi all. First time live. Home of the Comrades is pretty cool. My first marathon in 3 weeks. Can I run it in the Nova Blast 5? Yeah, 100% run it in the Nova Blast 5. 100%. And thanks for joining us, by the way. All day long. I'll get you around. No problem at all. Picked up a pair of Adidas Pro 3s on clearance sale recently. I love the shoe, but experiencing heel rubbing and big toe blisters. Yep, that means the sizing's not right for you. No, it won't stop. I've got a couple of people who feeling the same thing with those. If it doesn't fit you, it won't fit you. Now, unfortunately, the Adidas shoes are a bit like that. Actually, talking about Ben, my runner who ran 2:55 at the weekend, he tried the Pro 3, tried two pairs, experienced the same thing. Simon, who's off to Boston, another one of my runners who qualified for Boston, had the same issue with his Pro 3s. It's not uncommon. I would avoid them. It's just that mean they just don't fit you correctly. There's no point trying to push into them and stuff like that. Yes, I do have the Asics S4 Ugiris. They're here. And I need some more miles in them before we put the video out. So that won't be too long because if I get some, yeah, we'll have enough by next week. Hopefully film it by the end of the week, really, if I can, over the Easter weekend. Andy, good evening, Mr. Ford. 13 weeks into a 16-week marathon plan, twisted my ankle. Ooh, 3 weeks off. A couple more weeks to get back up to 40-mile weeks. Where do you think I rejoin the plan? What week? I'll be honest with you, I would. I'd see what the physio says on that one. If you twisted your ankle, you want to get some advice on that. You're 13 weeks into your plan. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll definitely get into the physio to get some advice on that. I don't know in terms of severity, what that's like in terms of rejoining the plan. We'd need to get some medical advice on that in terms of what it's like, swelling, mobility with it, and things like strength of it, stuff like that. If it's not too severe, then it's a different thing. But yeah, I'd be honest with you. I'd speak to the physio. Gary's coming saying Boston qualifying is about 10 minutes slower than London. Yeah, London's tough to get into. One of my runners, Dawn, she's running it. She's good for age. She got in. We got her in there. But yeah, tell me about it. The pressure. Boston, no, it's about the whole journey. Again, this is going back to my question at the start of the show. Would you take a Boston bib if you was offered it? And he says no. It's the whole journey with the race just being a celebratory holiday. Yep, at the end of it. Funny enough, I was just saying the same thing to one of my runners that I coach. Brilliant. Absolutely spot on, mate. John ran 20 miles yesterday in his first ever super shoe, the Meta Speed Sky Paris. Got awful blister on the back of the hill. Yeah, I wouldn't have done 20 miles straight out of the box in them. With a super shoe, I always like to do 3 miles or 3 to 4 miles and then put them into something. Just so you understand the lacing, the fit, the feel, what socks are best, that sort of stuff. I review a lot of shoes, so I get a feeling straight away of the shoe pretty much in terms of fit and feel of it, right? But I wouldn't just bang out 20 mile I have done it because I'm an idiot, but you live to regret it. Okay. Chris, if you're going to aim for a BQ time, could you drag Toby with you on your training plan? Love to know how quick he could go. It's just not use his natural talent. Yeah, if you're not seeing Brighton Marathon race vlog that we put out the weekend. So Speedgo, Toby, who I love dearly, he did no training again. This is the second time he's done this. He did no training and ran 4:15 at Brighton Marathon. He blew up at, he said 16.5 miles. I caught him at 19. I got him to 20 and then we walked in. Walking for me was great because I've got London. But he went out at like 3:40, 3:45 pace because he's an idiot and he's only got one pace. It would be incredible, absolutely incredible if the boy actually did some training. But don't forget, this is the boy who ran up and down the tallest mountain in this country in under an hour and 45 minutes. Nuts. Good question here. Do you think that Adidas Solution 2 or Prima is better? I like the Prima. There's more cush, there's more Dream Strike Plus in there. I really, really like the Prima from Adidas. Great value at the moment as well at start finish. Are you doing South End Half this year? That's up in the air. I'm doing a triathlon on the Saturday. And we are contemplating doing the South End Half on the Sunday. It's not confirmed. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or bad idea. I will be there, but I'm not sure at what state. Kai Chris, any recommendation for an easy recovery run? 4-foot striker, those really easy days. 4-foot striker, easy days. I mean, there's so many, isn't there? So many comfortable shoes out there. I mean, if you're a slight pronator, then Forever Run, Nitro. You've got the Vomero 18, which is just a phenomenally cushioned, beautiful, comfortable shoe. I'm running in the Skechers at the moment, which is super comfortable on those easy days. I'm really enjoying that on the easy days. Mag Max. Oh, there's so many. So many. Hi, Chris. I hope you're well. What do you think of the Asics S4 Plus Ugiri? I think I answered that one, Dan. It's on its way. You got to let me get a little. Let me get a little. Let me get a few more miles in them. We don't rush out videos on this channel just for the sake of it. Oh, well done. You own 3 pairs. Okay. Any tips on London Marathon spectating? Best places to view and how to get around? Yeah, I would start. You can either go down to Greenwich because then you can get the DLR over to Canary Wharf, and then from Canary Wharf you can get down to Westminster. If you want to base yourself in one place, send yourself or your family to Canary Wharf. It's the best place because you've got toilets, food places to eat and drink and stuff like that. And there's plenty of transport links. Matt Nash, questions in the house, although it's late, Matt, just as we're closing up the shop. Before starting a training block, you talk about these base miles. What are they? Why are they important? Base miles, you're just building fitness. You're building that readiness to then, or a platform to then go on top of it, add load, add speed, all those sort of things. But you need that base building done, that base phase, that aerobic engine built down here to be able to take everything that you put on top of it. That's the key. Oh. Hi, Chris. I've been coached for a couple of years now, but still don't really know the logic theory behind the programming. Programming is interesting. Would you recommend any reading material to get clued in? No, I don't know. But then again, I don't read stuff mainly because I have a neurodivergent brain and it doesn't allow me time to absorb stuff. No, I don't know any books or anything like that. All my stuff I was taught, obviously, when I did my coaching badges all those years ago with England Athletics. And the good thing is, back then as well, a lot of it was practical as well, which is fantastic, which is why I love coaching runners on like a group level, one-to-one level, physically, not just virtually. But yeah, no, I'm not. That's a good question, but I don't know, to be honest. Don't really know the thoughts. Again, that's the other thing. You've got to remember, certain coaches have different methodologies behind the way they practice. Mine's very simple, but I come at it from from an everyday runner's perspective. I understand, like I've said before, the majority of the people that I'm coaching don't have, access to tracks and things like this. Yeah, we can get them on a track and we give them sessions, but 9 times out of 10, probably doing a speed session down a road that's not very well lit. That sort of thing, the long runs are going to be interrupted by crossing roads and things like that. I also understand that my runners have got lives. They're not full-time athletes and all this sort of stuff. So it's a totally different ball game. So I keep it as simple and I come at it from that perspective. I look at it as though, as a normal person would think, and keep it simple and keep it, in the realms of reality. Not, trying to do 400 by 1000 by 600 by 752 times on a track, because I know you ain't going to be able to do it. And we try and find ways where ultimately we can get consistency out of you, because if I can put a plan together that we can adjust and change, because we do that with my coaching and it's all on the app and it's all directed by me, not AI, but ultimately we can adjust everything, but we adjust everything to make it so it's achievable on a week by week basis, and then it then gets the consistency, and from that consistency then we start to get the results. But again, every coach thinks differently. Yeah, we all have our own different ways. That's why you need to go out and find your own coach that works for you. I may not work for you. Everybody's different. There you go. YouTube videos. Good point. Good shout, Gary. Yeah, good shout. Right, team. There we go. 47 minutes. Most of that was spent talking about a Boston bib. We'll keep talking about that, people. You'll never know what's around the corner. Watch out for the Vaporfly 4 video tomorrow. You've all been warned. Watch out for the Nike video on Thursday. Again, anybody who's doing London Marathon, watch Friday's podcast or listen to Friday's podcast and tell somebody about it. If you know anybody who's running London, they need to watch or listen to Friday's podcast, okay? Sunday's vlog, I can't remember what it is. No idea. Have a great Easter, everybody. That's all I wanted to say. I don't know whether I'll be here Monday. I'm going to put a poll up on the community tab and we'll figure out whether we're going to be here or not. And other than that, have a great Easter, everybody, and I shall see you all soon.